solving simple sinusoids, cosines, and don't worry, when we get to the more advanced stuff, when we start doing delta, you see there's another way to do it. If it's a perfect coordinate, it's going to be even simpler than this. So we start off with inverse relations here, guys, and it says, what exactly does the inverse cosine of 1/2 mean? So what that means is this. That means cosine of some angle equals 1/2. Now, hopefully, we've done enough of these that you already know. So here's my unit circle. That this happens over and over again forever. It happens in quadrant 1, right there. 1/2 comma square root of 3 over 2. And it happens in quadrant 4, 1/2 comma negative square root of 3 over 2. And since cosine is the x value, so what is this first radian? Not everyone at the same time? Yeah. Not pi over 6, pi over, not pi over 4, pi over 3. The next one, yeah, I don't know where it's at. Yeah. The next one is in quadrant 4. So that one is 5 pi over 3. Cool or not cool? But it continues, guys. Not just those two. Look, so if you take your calculator, and I'm going to clear this. If I type cosine of pi over 3, I better get 1/2. I better get 0.5. And you do. You do. If I take cosine and I type in 5 pi over 3, do you get 1/2? Yes. But there's more than that, guys. If you add 2 pi to this one right here, and I'm going to go plus 2 pi, you get another answer. And I'm going to put that other answer right here. So 2 pi is the same as 6 pi over 3. I'm getting common denominator of 3. So 6 plus 1 is 7 pi. And notice, if I put 7 pi over 3, I get another answer of 0.5. Cosine 7 pi over 3. And then look, are you shocked? Yes. From 1 revolution is 2 pi. So you guys should not be shocked. Look, if I add another 2 pi to the 5 pi over 3, so I'm going plus 2 pi. And I put it right here. So I'm going to go 5 plus 6. What's that, 11? All these answers give you the same thing. Cosine of 11 pi over 3. And look at that, another 0.5. So hopefully you guys aren't shocked. So that's why this down here, you'll see the formulas. So if I want all the answers to that, you would just say, if it's theta or if it's x, you would just say x equals plus minus arccosine of 1/2 plus 2 pi n. Where that 2 pi n, where the n is how many revolutions you've done. I'm going to close the door, guys, because there's a lot of noise in the hall. All right, I don't want you to be a robot. It's very simple to become one. Notice it says there's a reason why there's a plus minus in the front. Guys, that's because if I do this angle right here, that angle, if I go clockwise, is negative pi over 3. And if I go to my calculator and I put cosine of negative pi over 3, look at this. No one should be shocked. Negative pi over 3, I push enter, and look at that, 0.5 again. Does that make sense? So that's where the plus minus comes from. I don't want you to, it's very easy to become a robot. As a matter of fact, once we do 3 or 4 of these, you're going to see that you're going to fly, especially if you're used to a procedure. Like, oh yeah, this is easy. It's very easy to trick someone. You can trick me. It's very easy to trick me here and be like, yeah, the kid knows what they're doing. They put the plus minus. The plus minus comes from that you know that cosine, like, okay, Chavez, what are you trying to say? The plus minus comes from there are several answers to this. So what's the answer? Theta equals plus minus arccosine of 1/2. Why do I put that? Because arccosine of 1/2, the main one, the parent function, plus minus, that's pi over 3. I know that cosine of pi over 3 is 1/2, and I know that cosine of negative pi over 3 is also 1/2. Cool or not cool? So the plus minus comes from that. Yay or nay? Okay, so check it out. Let's do this right here. It says Find the first 5 positive values of arccosine equals 0.5. We actually kind of just did it right here. Here are the first 5 positive values. So it is, I'm going to put theta. Theta equals pi over 3, 5 pi over 3, 7 pi over 3, 11 pi over 3. How do I get the next one? How do I get the 5th one? Plus 2 pi on which one? The 7 pi over 3 or the 11 pi over 3? Perfect. Plus 2 pi on that one. So 2 pi is the same thing as 6 pi over 3. So add 6 pi to 7 pi. What's that? 13 pi over 3. Do you see how we did it, guys? Okay. I also want you guys to notice something. So let's say, bless you. Oh, that was a hiccup. Sorry. Okay, let's not do it on that one. Let's do it on the next one because this is not exciting. Go to the next one, guys. And don't worry, if you're having if you're like, man, I don't understand what's going on, I'm going to show you what's going on. So it says, find the first 5 positive values of arccosine. So here we go. X equals, I'm just doing this. I'm just doing this right here. I'm just doing that right there. So I'm going to write x equals plus minus arccosine of negative 0.3 plus 2 pi n. Are we okay? I haven't done anything crazy, guys. I just used my formula. Chavez, what are you doing? I'm using my formula right here. I showed you where that plus minus is coming from. I take my calculator, make sure it's in radian mode because we're in radians. And I'm going to clear this. I'm going to go second arccosine. What was it? Negative 0.3. And I'm going to push enter. And I get this number, 1.8754 if it's truncated, 55 if it's rounded. 1.8755. So I'm going to write x1 equals 1.8755 plus 2 pi n. And I'm going to write x2 equals, instead of the positive one, I'm going to write the negative one. Negative 1.8755 plus 2 pi n. That's rounded. Truncated would have been a 4. I haven't done anything crazy. Are we still okay? We still okay, guys? Okay. Check it out. It wants the first 5 positive values. So the very first positive value is this one right here. 1.8755, comma. The next positive value is going to come from the negative plus 2 pi. The n is just the n is a whole number, an integer. It's like how many rotations you're doing. Integer. So I'm going to go in my calculator. I'm going to go negative, and I'm just going to scroll up and push enter on this guy, on this sucker. I'm going to go plus 2 pi, and I'm going to push enter. There it is. There's my second one. 4.4076 or 4077. 4.0477. I hope I got it right. Nope. I'm, what is it called when you mix your numbers? 4077. Is it dyslexic or something? I think sometimes I am, and I just never got diagnosed because I do that often. 4077. 4077. Okay. There's my second one. My third one is going to come from the 1.8755. So take this one and add 2 pi. See, it's coming from the x1. So I'm going to come up here and I'm going to scroll up. Enter. Plus 2 pi. Enter. 8.1587. 1587. 8.1587, comma. The next one's going to come from the 4.077, and I'm going to add 2 pi. So I'm just going to scroll up on my little calculator. Scroll up. Try it with me, guys. Plus 2 pi. And I'm going to push enter. 10.6908 or 09. 10 point, short-term memory, I already forgot. What was it? 6909. 1, 2, 3, 4. One more. Take the 8.158 and add 2 pi. Scroll up. Enter plus 2 pi. Enter. 14.4419. 14.4419. And there it is. Those are my first 5. I know some of you are just going through the motions and you're like, I have no idea what you're doing. I'm going to help you. You guys ready? Remember what we just did. Remember what this means. So I need everyone's attention real quick, guys. What this means is cosine of some angle equals negative 0.3. That's what it means. That's all it means. Negative of some angle is negative 0.3. You can relate this to the unit circle. You can relate this to the graph of cosine, which is what I'm going to do right now. That's another way. All right. When you were in Algebra 2, Ms. Torres told you that you could figure these out by putting this into your into one of your calculators, the y equals y1, and putting this into the other y equals y2, and you can see where they what? Intersect, and those will be your solutions. Do you guys remember that? All right, so here it is. I'm going to go to my calculator. I'm going to click on y equals. I'm going to clear this and clear that. That's from the last class. And I'm going to type in cosine x. So everyone do that. If you have stuff in there, just clear it. On y2, I'm going to put negative 0.3. Don't push graph yet. Are we okay? Nothing crazy, right? All right, check it out. Before I push graph, I'm looking at my answers from 1.8 all the way to 14.49. So here's what I'm going to do on my calculator. I'm going to click on, what am I going to click on? The zoom. I'm going to click on second format. Nope, not format. Window. Why did that's the first time I've ever done that. Click on window. Your x min, I'm going to put 0. X max, what was my biggest one? 14, so I'm going to put 15. No, I'm going to put 16. X scale by 1, sure, that's fine. Y min, I'm going to put, negative 1 is fine. Y max, I'm going to put 0 because I'm looking for where it's negative 0.3. Y scale, doesn't matter if you want to go by 0.5, put 0.5. I'm going to push graph. Look at that. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Those intersections, yeah, my calculator is a lot faster than yours because it's coming from a laptop. Those intersections are the answers that I just wrote right now. So check this out. I'm going to tell the calculator, second calculate, and I want an intersection. Number 5. Enter, and I'm going to enter twice. First curve, second curve. When it says guess, scroll to the one you want. I want this first one way over here. So I go to the first one, and I push enter. Look at that, 1.875. Isn't that one of my answers? Yeah, don't worry. I'm going to do this many times. 1.875. That's one of them. So how do I get the second one? Here you go. Ready, guys? Second, calculate, and you got all these choices. Number 5, push number 5, intersect. It's going to say first curve. You only have 2 curves in there. Enter. Second curve, just push enter. And it's going to say the word guess. Scroll to the one you want, and then push enter. Make sure it says the word intersection. Do you see how it says intersection? Is that my second answer? 4.407. Yeah, it is. See how it works? Do you guys see what's going on? Let's do it again. Ramos, tell me what I do. I want to find the third one. I push what? Look, I'm gonna show you how to do it, and then you're gonna tell me again. Ready? Look, I push the calculate button. So how do I do that? Second, calculate, the trace button, and then I push the number 5 because that's what I want. And I'm gonna push enter twice, 1, 2, and when it says guess, you scroll to the one you want. I want the third one. You just gotta get close to it, and you push enter until you see the word intersection. And see how 8.158, that was one of my answers? Okay, dime. What do I do to get the fourth one? Second, calculate. 5. Enter 2 times. Boom, boom. Go to the one you want. And then you push enter. Good job. Are you guys all cool about how to get that intersection? Because you guys are going to be the future engineers and future architects, and you're going to be messing with equipment. And this is pretty much the procedures you're going to have to be doing. Right? Okay. All right. Second, calculate. Number 5. Enter, enter. Scroll all the way to the right. Enter. Check it out. 14.441. We got them all. Does everyone know how to find those values? Okay, I'm going to assume we do. Let's go on to the next one. Okay, let's not cry. We're going to go slow. We're going to go as slow as I possibly can go, guys. You guys ready? It says, solve with a calculator 7 cosine 2 pi over 13 x minus 4 close plus 9 equals 5. If you have a CAS, I'll probably just give you the answers. On the interval -7 to 27. Okay, here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to type this guy into y1, what I have on the left. Why doesn't it erase it? What I have on the left here, I'm going to type that into y1. And I'm going to type 5 into y2. So let's do that. So let me show you. I'm going back to y equals. Everyone try this with me, guys. Clear y1, clear y2. So what was y1? 7 cosine. And then to get the little fraction to be up and down, push alpha. Is it alpha or is it y equals? No, it's alpha. Alpha, y equals, and push enter, the ND, see? And you get the little fraction like that. And then you're going to put, what was it, 2 pi over 13? So 2 pi on the top. The pi is where the caret symbol's at, on top of the division. 2 pi over 13. And then scroll to the right. And then I'll open parenthesis, x, what was it, x minus what? 4. X minus 4. And then close it twice. Close. And what was my midline? Plus 9. So there it is. There's my y1. So everyone's y1 should look like that. On y2, I'm just going to type what? 5. Okay, don't push graph yet. Notice they want me to find all the answers. Look what this means. They want all the answers between -7 and 27. Are we okay so far? So go to window. On x min, put -7. On x max, what was it, 27? Put 27. X scale by 1, yeah, that's fine. On y min, let's see, what's the smallest this goes? The midline is 9 and go down 7, so 9 minus 7, what's that, 2? So go down to 0. So I'm going to put 0. That can go, so the graph can be a little bit below. And your y max, 9 plus 7, what's that, 16? So go to 18. 1, 8. Y scale by 1. I think we're good. Push graph. Look at that. Beautiful graph. Are we okay? Yes. All right, check this out, guys. We're going to get those intersections. Let's go ahead. Someone try to get those last ones here. I'm going to start getting the first ones. Second, calculate number 5. There's only 2 curves in here. Enter. And then when it says guess, scroll to the one you want. Those are my 2 curves. Push enter right there. So there's my first answer. -4.491 or 492 if you're rounding. X equals -4.492, comma. All right, next one. I'm going to go second, calculate number 5. Enter twice, 1, 2. And I'm going to scroll to the second one, and it has to say the word intersection. Push enter. -0.508. -0.508. -0.508, comma. Someone give me the next one. What's the next one? Okay, someone give me the last 2. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, or the last 3. Second, calculate 5. Enter. I'm going to get the third one and fourth one. No, I'm just going to get the third one. 8.508. 8.508, comma. Okay, give me the last 3. Is your calculator really slow? If you have the thin calculator, those are a lot faster than the fat calculators. 12.4915. Because the processor's newer, that's why. Oh, push enter. 491. It needs to say the word intersect. Did you push enter? Yeah. It needs to make sure that the word intersection comes out. Give me the last 2. There's 2 more in there. Say it again. 508. Okay, and there's 1 more. What is it? I'll go over there right now and check it. It should be 25.492. Yeah, you got it. It's coming out right. Don't you have your own calculator? Your own calculator is faster. Go charge it. I have a charger right here. Second, calculate. Make sure it doesn't say the word intersect. Enter, and then you scroll to the one you want. And then right, it needs to say the word intersect. Yeah, it needs to say the word intersect, guys. If it doesn't say the word intersect, you haven't told the calculator to get it. All right. I want you to observe this. Everyone focus real quick. Are you shocked? Let me see. Which one does it look obvious? Okay, this one. Are you shocked that the difference between this one and this one is 13? Don't believe me? Go ahead and put 12.4915 minus that negative 0.508. It's going to be a perfect 13. Use the exact numbers that you got on there. Or look at this. The difference between this one and this one is 13. Are you shocked by that? Are you shocked? Are you like, oh my God, I can't believe that? Are you shocked that all those differences are 13? Why not? Why aren't you shocked about that? Look very carefully at Y1 here. The period is 13. Guys, the period is 13. The B is 2 pi divided by period, and they're practically giving it to you. Look, 2 pi divided by, there's that 13. The period is 13. I did this one on purpose, guys. I did it. I put the 2 pi in there on purpose. The period is 13. So you're not shocked. Cool? Okay. I'm about to solve this algebraically. And sometimes some kids want to cry. It's not hard. I promise you it's not. It just looks hard because of all the little symbols and pi and cosine and inverse. It looks hard, but if you really understand it, you'll see like, oh, there's nothing. It's just algebra. I'm going to go really slow. And I will show you, for now we're going to go this route. I will show you later on that there is an easier way to do it when they give you perfect numbers, when they give you perfect coordinate. But for now, these aren't perfect, so we're going to do it like this. All right, so I need your A game. You guys ready? It says here, find algebraically the 6 values of x in example 3. So they want me to do algebra. So here we go. I'm going to start by writing the equation. So start by writing 7 cosine, parenthesis, 2 pi over 13, parenthesis, x minus 4, close, plus 9 equals 5. Start by doing that. I haven't done anything crazy. The whole point of right now is to solve for x. These are my values up there. I better get those x values. So the first thing I got to do is I need to get rid of that 9. That's Spanish for 9. I need to get rid of that 9. Are we cool with that, guys? So when I subtract 9, you got to do it to both sides. Minus 9. The difference between 5 and 9 is 4. The 9 is bigger, so negative 4. 7 cosine 2 pi over 13. X minus 4, close, equals negative 4. Are we still okay? Okay, so write that down. The next move, this is just like chess. The next move, well actually it's easier than chess because you already know what the next move is. In chess, it depends on whoever you're playing. The next move, this is 7 times cosine of 2 pi over 13 x minus 4 equals negative 4. I got to get rid of that 7. How do I get rid of the 7? Divide by 7. Divide by 7. Divide by 7. You don't have to show it. Next time you can just write it. Yeah, go ahead. So I'm going to write cosine 2 pi over 13 x minus 4 close equals negative 4/7. So catch up to here. Are we still good? All right. The next move, to solve for x, I can't solve for x if I have this ugly cosine here in the front, and it's cosine of all this. So this is not cosine of anything. The 2 pi over 13 x minus 4, that's called the argument. That's like saying f of x. The x is the argument. So I want to get rid of the cosine. The only way to get rid of it is to do the inverse. That's how you cancel it. So do the inverse to both sides. So you're going to have this, 2 pi over 13 x minus 4, close, equals, and when it's cosine, put the plus minus in the front. Plus minus arc cosine. You can also say the word inverse cosine. 4/7, and then put plus 2 pi n, because every revolution will get you back to the same location. The n is an integer. Are we okay so far? Okay, so catch up to there. You are so close to getting x by itself. I need to get rid of, I know some students distribute this and then move the 4 and then finally divide by 2 pi over 13. Let's not go that route. It's 2 pi over 13 times this. I want to get rid of the 2 pi over 13. So to get rid of it, yes, you're right. Some of you said divide. You can divide by 2 pi over 13, but I never like how you have a fraction over another fraction. I prefer to multiply by the reciprocal. It's okay if you don't want to do that. Multiply this by 13 over 2 pi. Whatever you do to one side, you do to the other. So here's what I'm going to have. I'm going to have x minus 4 equals, and I'm going to distribute this like so. So put plus minus and put the 13 over 2 pi in front of the arc cosine. 13 over 2 pi, arc cosine of negative 4/7. Let me write the negative 4/7 better. Negative 4/7. Close it. Plus, when you distribute the 13 over 2 pi, the 2 pi's cancel and you just get 13n. Are you shocked by seeing the 13n back there? Are you shocked? No, because this repeats every 13. If the x-axis is in seconds and it's seconds, it repeats every 13. So you're not shocked. I'm going to go ahead, well, in a little bit, I'll figure out what this number is right here. Is everyone okay with the 13 over 2 pi, the placement of that? Yeah, it's because remember, it's arc. You can't put it in the front of that because then it looks like 13 over 2 pi plus minus arc cosine. It's a product. You're multiplying. So that's why you got to put it in the front of the arc cosine. Cool or not cool? Okay, then the number one mistake, but you guys will never make a mistake on this because we fixed it a few years back. In the past, I used to put the 4 in the back and then we would add, but that doesn't make any sense. Put the 4 right here so you never mess up. All you got to do is move the 4. X equals 4 plus minus 13 over 2 pi. Arc cosine of negative 4/7 plus 13n. Just put the 4 in front of the plus minus. When you move it to the other side, it turns positive. If it was positive, then it would have turned negative. Are we okay? Okay, so check this out. I'm going to get my x1 and x2. x1, I'm going to use the positive one. Take your calculator, and I'm just going to do this half. Don't put the plus 13. Go 4 plus 13 over 2 pi arc cosine of negative 4/7, like this. Look, go to your home screen, second quit. Let me clear all this. 4 plus alpha y equals, enter. What was it, 13 over 2 pi? Be careful, guys. The calculator is stupid. If you don't put the little fraction, then you're going to have to use parentheses because then it's going to think you're doing 13 divided by 2 times pi if you do 13 divided by 2 pi. So, okay, you know what? Clear it. That was correct. I'm just going to show you guys. Don't do this because the calculator is dumb. If you do this, the calculator thinks you're doing 13 divided by 2 and whatever that is times pi. So if you do it like this, put parentheses on the 2 pi. Okay, I already forgot. What did I have? 4 plus alpha y equals, enter, 13 over 2 pi. And then what did I have? Arc cosine. So put arc cosine, second arc cosine, negative 4/7. Close it. Don't put the 13. Just leave it like that. Push enter. And look at that. 8.508. That was one of our answers too, by the way. 8.508. Or did I put a 9 in there? Nope, 508. And then bring the 13n in there. Plus 13n. x2. Instead of adding, what do you think I'm going to do? Subtract. You don't have to type it again. Scroll up. This is what makes this TI super awesome. Push enter. And then just scroll until you see the plus and change the plus to a minus. Get on top of the plus, hover over it, and change it to a minus. and then just push enter. Look how awesome that is. Saves so much time. Negative 0.508. OMG, that was one of our answers. Negative 0.508 plus 13n. How do we feel? I'm going to put my answers in order. Don't worry, in a little bit we'll figure out how to get the negative 4.492. You guys probably already figured it out. So I'm going to come back over here. Let me see, where do I have room? I have room right here. X equals, because I'm going to put answers now. I'm going to put this one first. No, I'm going to put the negative 5.508 first, because that comes first. Negative 0. Did I leave space in the top? Yeah, that's fine. Negative 0.508, comma. The next one, I'm going left to right. The next one is the 8.508, 8.508, comma. If I add 13, I'm going to add 13 to the negative 0.508. And I know that you can just look at the top and look at the answers, but I want you guys to see that you get the same thing. Plus 13, because I already have this answer right there. Enter. And look at that, 12.491 or 492. What did I write over here? 491. 12.491, comma. The next one, I'm going to go to the 8.508 and I'm going to add 13. So I just scroll up, enter, plus 13, enter. 21.508, 21.508, comma. And then the last one, go to the 12.491 and add 13, plus 13. 25.491. 25.491 or 492 if you round it. Now I missed all of them but one. How do I get the negative 4.492? Yeah, I heard someone say it. Say it loud and proud. Yeah, say it. You're right. Subtract. Subtract from which one? The 8.508 or the 0.508? Yeah, the 8.508. So you just go to your 8.508. Where are you, buddy? Here you are. 8.508. Enter, and I'm going to subtract 13. And there it is, negative 4.492 or 491. So negative 4.491. I'll tell you where all of them came from. The negative 4.491 came from x1. The 0.508 came from x2. The 8.508 came from x1. The 12.492 came from x2. The 21.508 came from x1. And the 25.491 came from x2. What do you guys think? Was that extreme? No, it wasn't that bad, right? It wasn't that bad. It's not that bad. And this is what you're doing over and over again. If you were in 6th grade, would you be crying? But we're not in 6th grade. We're future engineers, and we're not crying. We're like, yeah, all that makes sense. Okay, let's go to the activity. We're going to do 2 of them for you. You know what? We'll do 3 of them. The activity. All right. I'm going to start with number 1. I'm going to go slow. On this one, you do not need to use any formulas, guys. Look, check it out. On this one, when it's a perfect radian or a perfect coordinate, you do not need to use any formulas. On the unit circle, where is x or where is cosine square root of 3 over 2? Pi over 6. That's the first answer. And then the next one, you could also say negative pi over 6, but it says here the first 5 positive values. So the next one's in quadrant 4. The denominator is still a 6. What's the numerator? 11 pi. Keep adding 2 pi. So add 2 pi to the pi over 6. Chop, but how? I don't know how to add 2 pi to that. Like this, guys. Add 2 pi. I'm going to come over here. I'm going to say, well, 2 pi, the denominator is 6, so multiply the 2 by 6. So 12 pi divided by 6. That's 2 pi. 12 divided by 6 is 2. So what is 12 plus 1? So 13 pi over 6 is the next answer. Add 2 pi to the 11 pi. So add 12 to the 11. What's that? 20 what? 23 pi over 6 is the next answer. And then 1, 2, 3, 4. I need one more. Add 2 pi to the 13 pi over 6. So what's that? 12 and 13, 25. 25 pi over 6. There it is. That's how you get those. Cool. Cool or not cool? Okay. Let's do, you guys choose, number 2 or number 3? Number 2? Okay. Arc cosine of 0.9, go plus minus, put cosine to negative 1, that's arc cosine of 0.9 plus 2 pi n. So I'm going to equals, I take my calculator. Remember, I want the first 5 positive. So I'm just going to go second arc cosine with a 0.9. And I'm going to push enter. 0.451, that's my first answer. So I come over here and I write 0.451, comma. The next answer comes from the negative 0.451 plus 2 pi. Does that make sense? Because remember, there's a plus minus in the front. So I take my calculator and I put this. I put negative, I scroll up, I push enter, and I go plus 2 pi. And I push enter. 5.832. 5.832, comma. These aren't perfect radians because they go on forever. The next one, you take the 0.451 and you add 2 pi. So I scroll up, I go to this one, push enter, plus 2 pi. 6.734, at least 3 digits after the decimal. 6.734, comma. I go to the 5.832 and I add 2 pi. 5.832 plus 2 pi. 12.115. 1, 2, 3, 4, and you need one more. Go to the 6.734 and add 2 pi. You can also get these by graphing and seeing where they intersect if you don't want to do it this route. 13.017. You can also get these by graphing, guys. You don't have to do it this way. If you're like, Chav, I don't want to do it like that. Okay, if you don't want to do it like that, go to y1, put cosine x. Go to y2, put 0.9, put 0.29, and see where they what? Intersect. And those better be the same values. Cool or not cool? Okay. All right, so let's do one more for you guys. So look at question 4 through 6. Here are the directions. Letter A, find a particular equation of the sinusoid. So that means find this sinusoid. And do it in terms of cosine because that's all we know right now. Letter B, find with a calculator the intersections. Okay. And letter C, find algebraically. Just get me the equations. Once I see that those two general solutions have the solutions from the equation, I know that when you add the period, it's going to give me the same answers. So let's do that. What number do you want to do? 4, 5, or 6? 6? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That one's actually kind of easy. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah, number 5 has the most. So I guess number 5 is the hardest. Okay, so number 5. You guys ready? I'm going to go slow. Letter A. First, they want the equation of that sinusoid. So, let's see. Let's find the midline. The high is a 7. The low is a 1. So the D is, you get it by going 7 plus 1. Divide that sucker by 2. So 7 plus 1 is 8. 8 divided by 2 is 4. So that's your midline. The amplitude, the A, is the distance or the difference between 7 and 4. What's that difference? So that's your amplitude. The B, you get it by doing 2 pi divided by the period. 2 pi, I'm going to peak. I got one peak at 2. I got another peak at 14. What's that period? 12. 2 pi over 12 reduces to pi over. There's my B. If I'm using cosine, I'm using a peak. Where's my first peak at? 2. Good job. 2 to the right. So here's my equation. Y equals, amplitude is 3. As you can see, you got to know how to get the equation of those curves, guys. Cosine, parenthesis, pi over 6, close, x minus 2, close. And what's the midline? 4. 5 is not the midline. 5 is what they want you to equal to and solve. Are we okay? Okay. On letter B, I'm going to put B right here. B says to use your calculator to find, or Desmos, if you don't have a calculator at home, use Desmos as well, to type this in. So here's what I'm going to type. On Y1, I'm going to type 3 cosine pi over 6, parenthesis, x minus 2, close, plus 4. Be careful. The most common mistake is you're missing a parenthesis. On y2, type in 5. So that's what I'm going to do, guys. I'm going to take my calculator. So here we go. And you guys are going to have to help me out because my short-term memory is bad when I don't get sleep. All right, what is it? 3 cosine alpha y equals enter pi over 6. Pi over 6. I like how the programmers put a little curly on the pi. They didn't have to, but they did. Parenthesis, what was my peak? X minus 2? X minus 2, close, close. What was your midline? Plus 4. Go to y2, put 5. Don't push graph yet. Let's see. Let me look at the graph here. The smallest your x value is -1, -2, -3, and then someone count and tell me what the biggest x value is. 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19. It looks like 30. So the one way out here. So -3 to -30 to 30. So go to window, -3, and put 30 for x max. And then x scale, you can leave it as 1, but I'm gonna put 5 so there's not so many hashtag marks or hash marks. Y min, let's see. The biggest is 7, the smallest is 1. I see a little hash mark right here, so I'm gonna put -1, and I'm gonna go all the way to 8. -1 or 9, so I can see the whole graph. And y scale by 1, that's fine. Push graph. I'm gonna get those 6 intersections. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Tell me what to do. How do I find my first intersection? What buttons do I push? Second trace, yes, I can calculate, and then what button? 5, intersect. And then since you only have 2 curves, you can just push enter twice. Enter, enter, and then when it says guess, scroll to the one you want. Scroll to the one you want. I want the one way over here, and then push enter. It needs to say the word intersection. You guys see that? So my first one is -0.351. So that's what I'm going to type in. X equals -0.351, comma. Let's get the next one, guys. So second, calculate. Number 5. Enter, enter. Give it a shot. Make sure you know how to do this, guys. Enter. 4.351. 4.351, comma. Let's get the next one. Second, calculate. Number 5. Enter, enter, scroll, enter. 11.649. 11.649, comma. Second, calculate. Number 5. Enter, enter, scroll, enter. 16.351. And someone give me the last 2. 23.649, perfect. And then the last one needs to have 0.351 on it. 28.351, perfect. I don't know if you notice, but if you do, the difference between this one and this one, 4.351 and 16.351 is 12. 12 plus 4 is 16. So the difference between 11.649 and 23.649 is also 12. Are you shocked that it's 12? No, because the period is 12. Look at the B, pi over 6. Or I guess look at the graph. That's a 12. So this one here and this one here, those two are 12 apart because that's what the period is. This one here in sky blue going down, and this one here in sky blue, those two right there are 12 apart. See, isn't this beautiful how math just makes sense? Don't worry, next time we visit again, we're going to put context to this. That's why we did the context question for Delta Math last time. See how everything's just making beautiful sense? Oh, you guys don't like this? Okay, last one. Last one. All right, letter C. We're doing the algebra. We're going slow. Here we go. So all I'm going to do is write the equation. So I'm going to go 3 cosine, parenthesis, pi over 6, close, x minus 2, close, close, plus 4, and this sucker better equal 5. Okay, catch up to there. All I did was set the left equal to the right. Letter C wants you to do it algebraic. I'm solving for x. What's the first thing I'm going to do? I'm going to do what? Subtract 4. Minus 4, minus 4. You don't have to show it. You can just write the next line. 3 cosine pi over 6 parenthesis x minus 2 close equals 1. So catch up to there. What do? I have 3 times cosine. So I want to get rid of the 3. What am I going to do? Yeah, divided by 3. Divided by 3, guys. Cosine pi over 6 parenthesis x minus 2 close equals 1/3. And I'm going to start writing over here. I divided by 3. And I'll slow down. I know, guys, we're reaching our maximum capacity to threshold, so it's dangerous to keep going, so I'm going to stop in a little bit. I'm trying to solve for x, so I need to get rid of that cosine. I get rid of it by doing it starts with letter I, inverse. So I'm going to write pi over 6, parenthesis, x minus 2, close, equals, and I'm going to put plus minus because it's a cosine. Inverse cosine. Cosine negative 1 of 1/3 plus 2 pi n. So catch up to there. I want to get rid of the pi over 6. Yes, you can say divide by pi over 6, but it's better, in my opinion, it's better to do what? Yeah, multiply by 6 over pi. That will cancel it. Times 6 over pi, whatever you do to one side, you do to the other. So here we go. So I'm going to have x minus 2 equals, and I'm going to distribute, plus minus 6 over pi, arccosine of 1/3. I'm distributing it, plus the pi's cancel out, and what's 6 times 2? 12. That's how you can check if you're doing it right, guys. That better be your period. If it's not your period, that means something's wrong. And then the last thing I do, I move that 2 right in front of the plus minus. It's a minus, so it turns to a plus. X equals 2 plus minus 6 over pi, arccosine of 1/3 plus 12n. I'm going to write x1. I take my calculator and I do 2 plus 6 over pi. So here we go. Take your calculator, second quit, go to your home screen, clear. I already forgot. 2 plus alpha y equals, enter, 6 over pi. And then I'm going to go arccosine. Was it 1/3? I already forgot. It was? Okay, don't put the plus 12, just up to there. Enter, 4.351. That better be one of your answers from the ones above. 4.351, 351. So go 4.351, and that is one of them, it's right there, plus 12n. So I know that's going to give me my other answers. x2. Instead of plus, I do what? Minus. So just scroll up and change the plus to a minus. So enter, and then just scroll, change that plus to a minus, minus, enter. Negative 0.351, OMG, that's one of my answers right there. That was this one right here. Negative 0.351 plus 12n, that 12n. And there it is. I know these will get me all those answers in the top. And that's all you have to show me when you get to letter C. How do we feel? I know, guys. I know it's a long day, especially Mondays. Mondays are always weird. So next time, try to get math class on a morning because you know your brain is at a higher level in the mornings. Cool or not cool? All right. So if you saw this your 6th grade year, would you cry, guys? You wouldn't cry. You're not crying now because you get it, right? All right. So let's take care of business. It's not due until next time we meet, but if you can finish it today, even better. All right. Go ahead, guys. Go team, go. Team on 3. 1, 2, 3. Team. Oh, man, that was so lame. All right, here we go.